Well, while the government wrangles with the economic reset, millions are trying to live with the adverse impact of the cost of living crisis. Data shared with Newsnight exclusively by the Food Foundation suggests more than a quarter of households with children experienced food poverty last month, meaning that they reduced what they ate or they actually skipped meals altogether. As you'll hear shortly, one 15-year-old told us she sometimes goes to bed hungry so her younger siblings can have enough. Upon seeing the findings, the former Children's Commissioner told Newsnight the state of deprivation is now a national emergency. A government spokesperson says its priority is always to support the most vulnerable. Millions of households have been offered help with rising bills. Anna Collinson begins her report in West Yorkshire.
This is just past its date. They've changed the branding on this too, so they've reduced that. Cheapest breakfast going is cereal. We've got the fancy pasta here, but this is also reduced, which is why I've got a couple of packets of it.
Fiona works 5 days a week, regularly misses meals, and always buys discounted food.
Whenever I go round supermarkets, I try and pick up whatever the reduced sticker deals are.
Yet having enough money to feed her 2 children still requires hours of planning, preparation, and scavenging.
I don't really think that there's a switch off from it, which is why I try and avoid supermarkets now. If I go into supermarkets, I definitely go into hunter mode and think about what stickers I can get, what's on offer.
As the cost of living bites, 3 meals a day has become a luxury for millions. To help, Fiona runs a community kitchen at this school in Halifax. Matt Perry is the head teacher.
This is where the magic happens.
Donated food is transformed into free meals.
It's about 300 meals a week we make. We've helped probably over 700 families and hundreds of staff who get to take the food as well.
Do you think it's the responsibility of schools and teachers to provide services like this community kitchen?
I think in the strictest definition, no. Schools' remit, my remit is to improve educational outcomes. I think what we're finding is more and more, it's not just the families that are known that you've worked with, it's more and more families saying, look, can we just have some help? Can we have a conversation? You're seeing the signs in young children.
Hot food lines on this side, pizzas on second aisle.
The charity, the Food Foundation, has tracked the UK's food insecurity levels since the start of the pandemic. In recent months, it's detected an alarming rise in cases and shared its findings with Newsnight. This data suggests nearly 1 in 5 households in the UK ate less food or skipped meals in September. That's an estimated 9.7 million adults. But it's thought it's families with children who are struggling the most. As this graph shows, since April, food insecurity has increased more amongst this group compared to households without children. That's a 50% rise in just 5 months. The government has invested £24 million into offering free school breakfasts in England. Nearly 2 million pupils are also eligible for free school meals, but charities say the current threshold is too low and should be extended to all families on universal credit. Fiona would welcome that extra support.
It would make the difference of £20 a week, which I'd be able to use in different ways, which is would be so good.
There will be people who will hear millions of children in the UK are living in food poverty and they won't believe it. What would you say to them?
Oh, it's very real. It's very real. If I'm on a okay income and my kids are still struggling and I'm still struggling, then there's so many people that are worse off.
Research shows families with children have more outgoings, but are less likely to have savings and are more likely to be in debt. While the majority of parents are in work, campaigners have told us most are unable to increase their hours further. The former Children's Commissioner says the government must now treat deprivation as a national emergency.
Child poverty and poverty generally, I think, is of such a level of crisis at the moment that the country needs to take this seriously. I would like to see COBRA meetings, reflecting the magnitude of the situation for real families and children, being held on a regular basis to look at what's happening and to find solutions and to deliver those solutions.
You started working with children in the 1980s. You were the Children's Commissioner for 6 years. How significant is this data?
I don't remember seeing it this bad. Those children are going to have much poorer life chances. They're going to get much poorer educational outcomes, have worse jobs, and be a much greater pull on the public purse in the future.
A government spokesperson told us measures are in place to help the most vulnerable cope with rising prices. This includes millions of households receiving payments of at least £1,200 this year. We've come to meet Phoenix, who has health problems and is unable to work.
Hi, hiya, I'm Anna. I'm Phoenix, nice to meet you.
Her eldest, 15-year-old Erin, helps take care of her 3 younger siblings.
2 years ago, we were able to afford more than we do now, and Mum's still able to pay like for the gas and electric and all that. But now, well, can't really do that now.
Sometimes Erin skips meals or eats less food so the younger siblings don't go hungry.
Sometimes I'll be sad because I didn't get to have what they did, but then I'll be happy because at least they've gotten to eat their food. I do believe Mum cries sometimes because she lays there at night saying, right, tomorrow's the weekend, can't take the kids out, you know, not be able to do anything fun with them.
Money worries weigh heavily on young shoulders, and sometimes it can all get too much.
I just feel upset because explaining what everyone has to go through in these types of situations, I know other people go through it even worse than us, and it's horrible, it's not fair, it's affecting people's lives really badly.
That report by Anna Collinston. Well, joining me now is the chair and founder of the Food Foundation, Laura Sands. The